Hey there folks, this is Josh, Stoney Ridge Farmer. Welcome back to another beautiful day here on the Stoney Ridge Farm. Does your lawn look like this, or does your lawn look like that, the Sahara Desert? Today we're going to take you along with us and we're going to show you how to fix a bare spot in your yard. It's a very simple process. However, sometimes it can be like rocket science to folks. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to take that and turn it into that right there, and it'll only take about a month or so. So come along and let's show you how to fix bare spots in your lawn. All right? Woo! Woo! Stoney Ridge Farm, Stoney Ridge, Stoney Ridge Farm. This is for the wives that can't get their husbands to fix a bare spot in the yard. Share this video with your husband. If you can't get him to fix it, here's how you tease him into doing it. You get him a cool toy like this Wild Hair ATV loader system on this four-wheeler, man. This thing's awesome. Or go out and buy him a nice pocket knife. Buy him a nice Gerber knife. So what we're going to be doing today is taking this grass seed, and I've got two different types of grass seed that we grow here in North Carolina. It may be a little bit different where you live, so check with your local garden center or your local nursery or the supplier that supplies to the landscapers. We use a company called Green Resource for the farm here, and we've got about 100 acres of pasture land here, so I know how to grow grass for sure. So what we've got here are two different types of grass seed. I'm going to go through the details of the types of grass seed we're going to be using today. So depending on the time of year that you're seeding your lawn, if it's in the middle of the summer, you want to use a contractor's mix. That's the stuff that they blast out on the highways after they do construction jobs that grows just like that. This is a contractor's mix right here for the hottest part of the summer. It's 20% millet and 80% fescue. Fescue grass is what we grow around here in most lawns. If it's bluegrass or whatever it is in your area, check again with your local landscape supply company. This is Kentucky 32. That has Kentucky 32 in it. This is 100% Kentucky 32, and that's 80%. This is fast growing, fast germination. So as soon as it hits the ground, 2 days later, you're gonna get germination, and that's what's really gonna make your grass take off. If you're out in a pasture, and this is what we'll overseed bare spots in our pastures with, it works awesome. For today's purposes, we're in the spring, we're in the wet time of year, so we're gonna be using this K32, Kentucky 32 fescue. So we talked about the types of seed that you're gonna put down. If you're seeding in fall, your contractor mix may have an annual ryegrass or a winter wheat in there, okay? That's to germinate quickly and shade that fescue and let it grow. It depends, again, on the area that you live, so you might use Bermuda grass in the area that you live. Now, what we gotta do is provide cover for that grass, okay? We're gonna show you two bare spots. This is not the only bare spot. This has nice, good garden soil in it, and the other bare spot is just hard packed clay, and we're going to show you the technique to fix the hard packed nasty clay spot too. So we've got a couple bales of straw. We picked these up at our local Lowe's. You can go to your local landscape supply company, pick you up a couple bales of straw or that roll out material that's like a big roll of straw mat. Now I will tell you that big roll of straw mat is going to be a big mess in your lawnmower at some point, and you're going to be mowing this probably sometime within the next month or so. So keep that in mind. If you buy that matting that you roll out, it gets entangled in your lawnmower and it's a bit of a pain in the butt. So you'll need a seed spreader, and if you just have a small area, all you need is your hand. You can just broadcast seed it. What I found is that putting down a heavy layer of seed really pays off. So we're gonna put down probably, I would say, about 10 pounds of grass seed on this little area right here. So we're gonna spread out our straw after we put our grass seed down. So let's load up our Earthway seed spreader and get busy. You don't have to buy something as big as this Earthway seed spreader right here, okay? We've got a big piece of property, so I have a big seed spreader, and I also have a big seed spreader for the tractor. You don't need something this big. If you've got a small bare spot about this big, just use your hands, that's it, and buy like a 25-pound bag of grass seed. Guys, every seed spreader that you buy will have a chart on the back of it, and if you go get your grass seed at a good grass seed supplier, there'll also be a chart on the back that tells you how much grass seed to put per square foot and how many square feet this bag will cover. So pay attention to that and you'll be happy for sure. So what we've got here, we're just gonna tear. This is one of those easy tear, which is nice. We're actually gonna raise this guy up just a little bit. We'll toss this to the side for a second. We're gonna raise this ATV loader system up just a little bit, get us at a better working height. Let's see here. There we go. It's all about ergonomics, okay? Ergonomics. So we're gonna probably pour about 15 pounds of this 50-pound bag in our seed spreader. That's about a quarter of the way full. And that's gonna get us some good heavy coverage. Again, if you want to bribe your husband into doing something, this is a Gerber knife, man. This thing's awesome. You want to bribe him into doing something? Buy him a nice pocket knife and hand him the grass seed and the straw bales, and maybe it'll get to work for you. So guys, we've got our Earthway seed spreader right here, and we're gonna set it almost to the highest setting I can possibly set it. Again, we're using the K32 or Kentucky 32 turf or field seed is what it says, but it's what we plant in our yard right here. Now, natural wild grasses and weeds are gonna come up in this. It's okay after the fact here. You wanna let it grow up to where it's about 8 inches high before you hit it with the mower, just so you know. So we're gonna back up here. We're actually gonna get around the periphery of the edge here too, because there's some sparse areas that need a little bit of grass seed. Buy more straw than you think you will need, okay? It makes a difference. You can always use this straw, so buy more than you'll need. There's nothing worse than getting done with a job and having a spot with no straw on it, and the grass simply will not grow right there. We've got to put this down to hold moisture on the soil. So here we go. And that's it. That's what, 45 seconds, a minute and a half, something like that. And this whole area is seeded. Now we're gonna bust into some straw bales and we'll show you how to spread the straw out. This is a straw bale, probably weighs about 35 pounds. If you're not strong enough to pick up a 35-pound straw bale, find a neighbor to help you. Again, this is where you bribe your husband, buy him a nice pocket knife. We're gonna cut the strings on the straw bale. Be sure you get up your strings, okay guys? If you're not an old pro at this, this will wrap up in your lawnmower, or if you have a lawn care company that takes care of your lawn, this will wrap up in your lawnmower. So put it in your pocket, okay? Now, when you pull your straw out, it's gonna come out in flakes like this. Just take those flakes and you wanna make sure that you are upwind from the area you wanna work, because you can see as I shake this, it starts blowing that way. So you wanna make sure that you're upwind and you're scattering it about evenly over the land right here. All we're gonna do is take this, and I opened the straw bale. Notice I opened the straw bale on the area that's sparse, okay? So this area right here needs attention. I didn't open the straw bale out here where I don't need it. I opened it where I needed it. Just give her a shake. You don't want clumps, okay guys? So really think about that. You're gonna have to go back over this and break up any clumps. And you don't wanna do this just before a windy day, because all your straw will be in your neighbor's yard, and that's a bad thing. So when you get done, you're gonna find clumps like this. Go around and break up those clumps. We almost didn't have enough straw to cover this area. If you have allergies, wear a mask because you're gonna get dirty. Guys, I spread 110 bales of straw out on this lawn right here. That's how the lawn got its start. You need something to retain moisture, and that's what this is all about. Moisture retention and putting biologic material down on the ground. So folks, at this point, you would apply fertilizer if you were going to fertilize this area right here. Now, again, you can send off soil tests. You can go to all matter of testing to figure out exactly what fertilizer you need. Typically, when we reseed grass like this, we use a 17-17 or a 10-10 or a 15-15. So 10-10-10, 15-15-15, or 17-17-17. They're all the same. Basically, you would just have to put less of each one. So if you wanted to fertilize it, you could hit this with fertilizer. I know this is awesome soil and it's gonna grow the grass just fine. Now, if it's not gonna rain, you need to get some water on this immediately. You wanna wet this down in case the wind comes and blows all your straw away. So we got our fingers crossed. It's supposed to start raining tonight, and that'll hopefully get all this straw matted down to the ground and retain that moisture that we want to. Now, let's head on down to the other bare spot where it's just clay, and we're gonna show you a secret with manure. Woohoo! All right, now guys, we're gonna take a look at a spot that is just pure hard clay. Check this out. Here we have some of the hardest soil. It's not soil, it's dirt, it's clay. It's just hard packed clay right here. And this is an area where we drive in and out of to get to our sawmill. Now, you can do this at home. All you have to do is go buy for an area about this big, and I'm gonna say this is probably 40 square feet, something like that. Go buy yourself about 5 or 10 bags, even if you have a car. Go pack them in the trunk, 5 or 10 bags of composted cow manure. It does not stink, okay guys? When you see cow manure on a bag, it doesn't stink. I'm just gonna let you know. It smells like earth, okay? Earth and a little bit of sawdust. So go get yourself some composted cow manure and do exactly what I'm doing right here. When you've got a bare spot like this that just has no biologic material, you can put all the straw down you want, all the grass seed down that you want, but year after year after year, it's gonna continue to cause problems. Check with your local municipality. You may have a compost center nearby. If you can get a buddy with a pickup truck or borrow a trailer, go get a whole pickup truck load of compost. It works, trust me. You can even use garden soil if the cow manure thing kind of turns you off. But cow manure is basically biologic material and fertilizer. Composted cow manure is not poop, it is compost. Let's show you. What we have here is an old soy sauce bucket, and it's full of horse manure, composted horse manure. And it's so good, it's also packed full of worms here. So we've got a big pile of horse manure right over here to the side, and this is what we've been fertilizing our farm with. So if you like this kind of stuff, if you like this kind of content, please jump in, subscribe to the channel. We got a 150-acre first-generation farm here. We're gonna take a garden rake and we're gonna rake this out. We're gonna put a couple buckets full on, and then we're gonna put our grass seed down, and we're gonna cover it with straw. It's just that simple. Now this will retain moisture. It will, but we want to put a little bit of cover over top of it just to help retain even more moisture. So that's why we're going to put the straw down. Josh, why are you using a 5-gallon bucket instead of your brand new shiny loader? Let's use the loader for the next little bit of manure. Yeah, baby. Ooh, that's a heavy load. Bad thing about getting manure from a horse farm is there's always string and stuff, so look out for trash. We're gonna take our garden rake, and this is a garden rake right here, not a leaf rake, and we're gonna rake this out just a little bit. Nice and even. Break up any clumps you might have. Now, if you go to the store and you buy composted cow manure, this is what it's gonna look like, and you just cover it with seed. You don't need a seed spreader to do this. So I'm just gonna scatter seed on this by hand, and then we'll lay a little straw on top. Put your seed on nice and heavy, and you'll have grass here. It takes about 7 to 10 days for fescue to germinate. So if you get a contractor's mix, it's gonna germinate within 2 to 3 days, maybe 4 days of wet weather. But if you use this fescue, it's gonna take somewhere in the neighborhood of 7 to 10 days, sometimes up to 14 days for fescue to germinate. Now, it's not gonna hurt to step on this, so step on it, walk over top of it. If you've just got a small area like this, compact that stuff in there. What you're doing is exposing that fescue to that compost. So it's gonna grow, it's gonna do nice, very, very nice. The more you step on it, the better. Now be careful, because you'll have grass seed growing out of your shoes, so stomp your shoes off real good. Now we're gonna put a little bit of straw on this. Guys, now you know how to fix a bare spot in your yard. This is just a quick video, Stoney Ridge Quick Tips video. We probably have 15 bare spots just like this in the yard, so me and the wifey, we got to get busy. Today is seeding the bare spots day because we've got about a ½ inch rainstorm coming in tomorrow. Guys, thanks a lot for joining me here on the Stoney Ridge Farm. Please jump in, pound that like button, subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you back. See you next time. Bring your wife and bring your kids. We're living life pure and sweet. That's the way it's supposed to be, Stoney Ridge.